Hi, this is Algebra 1, Module 7, Lesson 7, the practice problems. Here we are going to just practice finding numbers between other ones. So just pretty open on these. This is the same thing as 5.75, and this is the same as 6.3 repeating. So three numbers in between would be 6, 5.8, and 6 and a fourth, if we want to do it like that. Okay, three numbers between -2 and a fourth and -half. It's -2.25, -1.5. So it would be -1 would be a whole number between them. -2.1, and let's say -1.3. Okay, 1/4 and 5/8. That's 0.25 and 0.675. So 625, 675. Just 625. Make that a 2. All right. So we have 0.5, 0.6, and we have 0.4. All right. Square root of 3 and square root of 5. So if I actually find square root of 3, it's about 1.73. Square root of 5 is 2.24. So in between those is a 2, 1 and 3/4, and can't do 2 and a fourth. Guess we can do 2 and a ninth. Let's be creative. Right, 4 and square root of 23. So 23 square root is 4.8, basically, way around. So we've got 4.1, 4.5, 4 and 3/4. Okay, -9 and 3/4 and -8.5. So that's really a -9.75. So -8 would be between those guys. -8 and 3/4. And then we'd have -8's not in there. -9 is though. Went the wrong way. -9. And then bigger than 8.5, we can do 9.5. -9.5. There we go. Square root of 1/4. Well, square root of 1 is 1. Square root of 4 is 2. So that is really 1/2, or 0.5. And square root of 4 is 2. Square root of 9 is 3. So that's 0.6 repeating. That's 0.5. So between 1/2 and a 0.6 repeating, that's a pretty small amount. 0.52, 0.6, 0.61. Those all work. And then square root of 13 and square root of 14. So square root of 13 is basically 3.6, and square root of 14 is 3.74. So we could say 3.61, 3.7, 3.71, just picking some numbers there. So that's just remembering our orders. Here we have our factoring. So here where we're practicing what we really worked on with this lesson. So remember the C, oh, okay, let's scroll down, there we go. So C equals our H squared, and B equals our two factors added or subtracted, right? These two, I'm not an H squared, I guess, what letters did we use last time? I don't even remember. We're multiplying. We'll do a multiply. So it's a C is when the two are multiplied, B is when they're added or subtracted. those same numbers are being done. So adding, we know it's an x plus, because they're both there, factors of 8 and 1 that add up to 9. Well, 1 and 8 add up to 9. And double check, 1 plus 8 is 9. 1 times 8 is 8. Perfect. Okay, so this one, we know there's only one x in there, x squared. So we're adding here, but we're subtracting here. So that means they're both subtracted. So I need 2 that are subtracted to get 6, because we're adding them, or no, sorry, added to get 6. Well, 1 and 8 added to get 9. 4 and 2 will add to get 6. That does not look like a 4. Try that again. Okay, so -4 plus -2 is -6. -4 times -2 is +8. All right. Ooh, here we've got a negative. So 1 is a plus and 1 is a minus. So now we're going to subtract to get a 2. So does 1 and 8 subtract to get 2? Or does 2 and 4 subtract to get 2? Well, 2 and 4. But I need my 4 to be bigger to make the whole thing negative. So -4 plus 2 is -2. 2 times -4 is -8. Here we have another negative. Hope you see how these are all connecting because we're all using 8 as my C. Here it's a opposite, one of each, right? Now I'm going to subtract them because we're going to be adding a negative to get 7. Well, 1 and 8 subtracted, but I need the 8 to be the positive because it's a +7, -1. So 8 plus -1 is 7. -1 times 8 is -8. Let's do the next row. Positive, and both of them are negative then. So 2 negatives give me a positive. What factors of 24 add to get 11? Well, we've got 1 and 24. We've got 2 and 12. We've got 3 and 8. We've got 4 and 6. I'm going to write those all out because it looks like we're going to need them for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different problems. So what to add to get 11? Well, 3 and 8 do. So I can do 3 and 8. Here, I'm using factors of 24, and they are both negative because my C is positive and my B is negative. So which two add to get 14? Well, 12 and 2 do. So -2 plus -12 is -14. -2 times -12 is +24. All right, let's do my next one. It's an X and an X. Okay, it's a positive, so they're both the same. But then B is negative, so they're both negative. So which two add to get 25? Well, 1 and 24 do. How about these guys? Feel free to pause this and try them on your own first, especially with all these 24s. There's a whole bunch to do together. Okay, here, so it's positive C, but a negative B, so these are both negative. Which two add to get 10? 6 and 4 do. We haven't used those yet. So 4 and 6 add to get 10, 4 and 6 times to get 20. Okay, so now we start getting a little trickier because we have a negative C. So we know we have one of each now. Now we're subtracting to get 2. Well, 4 and 6. 6 minus 4 gets me 2. But I need my 6 to be the negative because my answer is negative. So a -6 plus 4 is a -2. This one for 18. We have a negative C, so we have a plus and a minus, and it's -5. Which one subtracted get me 5? 3 and 8 do. And it's a negative, so my 8 needs to be with my negative. All right, next one. Negative c, so I have a plus and a minus. Here I have a positive 5. So 8 and 3 still subtract to get 5, but this time I need my 8 with the positive so that my answer is positive. Positive 8 minus 3 is positive 5, as opposed to 18, where a negative 8 plus 3 is a negative 5. Makes a difference which one it's with. Okay, oh, now we're into 25. Well, 25 has 1 and 25, and it has 5 and 5. So let's see. Positive here, negative b. So both of them are negative, and I need them to add up to negative 10. Oh, 5 plus 5 is 10. If I multiply them, I get 25. Okay, let's try the next one. You know what? Let's switch colors here. All right. Oh, now I have no b. So I have a negative c, so I know there's one of each. Which of these two factors over here will subtract to get 0? Because I have 0 b's. Well, if I add 5 and then I take away 5, I get down to 0. All right, the next one, we have 15. Let's see if we can do this by just thinking about the factors on this one. So it's a negative. Ooh, let's make it trickier. One of each. So what factors of 15 subtract to get 2? Maybe I will write some down here just to make sure I can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to scroll down, put them down here. So 15 is 1 and 15, 2, 3, and 5, 4, and that's it. Well, 3 and 5 subtract to get 2, so I need a negative. So the 5 has to go with the negative, and the 3 can go with the positive. Ooh, how about 75? That's a big one. Well, it's a negative, so I need a positive and a negative, a plus and a minus. So 75, 175. Those don't subtract to get a 10. 2, 3. 3 goes in there. 3 quarters makes 75 cents, so that's 25. Those two subtract to get 10? No. 4, no. 5. And 5 will go in there. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75. 15 times. 5 and 15. Do they subtract to get 10? They do. And I need a positive 10, so my 15 goes with plus, and my 5 goes with the minus. All right, now we're getting to numbers we don't necessarily know the factors as easily, do we? Okay, a positive 51, so that means they're both the same, but it's a negative 20x. So they're both negative. So two factors of 51 that add to get 20. All right, well, 51 is 151. 2 doesn't go in there. 3 does, though. 3 goes into 51. Let's see. 17 times. Okay, so 1 and 51 were too big to add. 17 plus 3, that gives me 20. So I have 3 and 17. Next row, we have, okay, so it's a negative 32, so that's a plus and a minus, but we have a positive 14. So we're subtracting to get 14. So let's see, 1 and 32, 2 and 16. So 32 minus 1 is 31. 16 minus 2 is 14. So you only have to go as far as you need to use the ones we need. Positive 16 minus 2 gives me a positive 14. All right. Oh, here's another one that is missing a b. Not missing it, but it doesn't have one. So factors of 1 are 1 and 1. They have to be opposites because it's positive 1 times a negative 1 equals a negative 1. And positive 1 plus a negative 1 gives me 0. So that was a good one. Okay. Here. Again, my factors are 1 and 1. And those are my only options for 1. And then it's a positive, so they're both the same. B is a negative, so they're both negative. And just to double check, -1 plus -1 is -2. -1 times -1 is a +1. All right, last one. Cruising through these. All right, -45. So that means we have one of each. Factors of 45 that subtract to get 12. 1 and 45. Nope, those don't subtract. 2, 3. 45 divided by 3, that's 15. 15 minus 3, is that 12? It is. And it's a positive 12, so my 15 goes with the plus. 15 minus 3 is 12. 15 times a -3 is -45. There we go. That looked a little daunting at first, but we worked through it. Not too shabby. All right, last 4. Let's graph these parabolas. Graph them, include the vertex and at least 3 accurate points on each side. So then describe how it works. We've got a description down here. So x squared. Well, if we draw our axes, we'll probably want to put this about in the middle, won't we? Because we know x squared is going to have a vertex at 0, 0, right? There's no transformations going on in there. So when we do we can just kind of plug these in, right? Because 0 squared is 0. 1 squared is 1. 2 squared is 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 squared is 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's as much as we have room for. And we have at least 3 points on each side. We counted by ones. There we go. And our description is, this is our, we'll call it a parent function. Parent function because there's no transformations. This is the one we compare everything to. This is our starting function. All right, over here, this one, x squared minus 3. Well, so for this one, our vertex is going to be at, that's my k, right? 0, comma, -3, which means I'm going to be going down into the negative a little bit. So let's go ahead and put our x or a y there, but let's give a little space for our x-axis. So my vertex is at 0, comma, -3. And if I do 1 squared, then 1 squared is 1 minus 3 is -2. 2 squared is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 3 is 6. So now I've got 3 points to work with. 1, -2. 2, 1. And 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I know it's going to be the same on both sides. So that'll help me to graph it. For a description, on here, points are moved down 3, right? Because we took this one, there's no A, there's no stretch or dilation. We just moved our vertex down 3. Next one. Vertex is at, let's see, vertex is at, that's a 2, comma 0, right? There's no k added onto the end, and our h is a 2. So that means we're going to be a little more to the right, not so much into the negatives, but a little more to the right. So let's just go ahead and scoot this over to the side a little. And I know that my vertex is at 2, 0. So let's try 3. 3 minus 2 is 1 squared. 4 minus 2 is 2 squared, which is 4. 5 minus 2 is 3 squared, which is 9. So, I hope I gave myself enough room to get to 9. 3 is 1. 4 is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 5 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we go. And so then our description of this one is points are moved right 2. Right, same thing, no dilations, we're just scooting over. Okay, last one. Call this one good. So here, our vertex is, say it's a +1, so that's -1, and our k is 4, which means we're going to scoot left and up, which means I need to have a lot of space above and to the left. So I'm going to push this clear over to the right to give me more space on the left. All right, so -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Oh, but you know what I've just noticed? We have a negative here, which means, let's try this again. We need to go, this is going to be going down. So we actually want our, oh, I don't think I left room for 4 up there. One more time, third time's a charm. Let's do, whoa, wow, that was a bad line. Here we go. There we go, that's a better line. Let's go here and then go over to this side. Okay. -1, comma 1, 2, 3, 4. Because if we go over to 0, 0 plus 1 is 1 squared. 1 squared. -1 plus 4 is 3. Make sure I'm doing my order of operations right. If I go to 1, then 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 squared is 4. -4 plus 4 is 0. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 squared is 9. -9 plus 4 is -5. Guess I didn't have to go that far to the right, but it's all right. It'll still fit on here. I don't have to redo that. 0, and then 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5. There we go. Could have even had room for one more. What I did. Okay, so description. The vertex moved left 1 and up 4, and the parabola reflects downward. Right? Oh, you know what? We better make sure we do order of operations. So first would be the move left. Our vertex moved left 1. The parabola reflects downward. Then it moves up 4. Let's make sure we're, oops, what happened? There we go. Let's make sure we are describing it in terms of how the order of operations. So first we move it left, because that's in the parentheses. Then we reflect it. Then we're moving it up. So technically, those are the order we're doing it in. All right, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.